Okay, hey y'all, it's just Jasmine. Welcome to my channel. I really want to say thank you so much for clicking on this video and starting this journey with me, you know, because I'm really excited about it. So thank you so much for being here. Okay, I did want to start off with a little introduction, right? Who am I? For those of you that are new here, you know, a lot of this is gonna be my family and friends, especially because it's my first video. But for all of you that are new here, let me introduce myself. I'm Jasmine. I'm 19 years old. I am from the Rio Grande Valley. I've lived here all my life. I've kind of moved around once, and the city I currently live in is definitely the most significant because I've lived here most of my life, right? I am currently a student, you know. Can you see all the major? Go back at us, right? And like some of my hobbies, I'd say I love to cook. I love to sing. I kind of like to color. Sometimes it can be a little frustrating, but I do like to color, you know. I love Jesus a lot, you know, not a hobby, but just one of those things that I obviously wanted to mention in my channel. I just want to be super real in my channel. I want to be super silly. I feel like that's my biggest trait that I portray, like silliness. I even tend to say like silly stuff all the time. Like silly is just in my vocabulary, and everybody around me is just a silly goose, right? So yeah, I do just want to be super real, and one of the most realest things about me is that I love Jesus. And so that is something that I wanted to, you know, mention on my first video. So now I wanted to get a little in touch with my testimony. Now that you guys know that I love Jesus, right? I grew up in a Christian family, so I kind of knew Jesus all my life since the second I was born. Huge blessing, I think. It's like the coolest thing. But something that is so much cooler is growing up around people who know Jesus, but then growing up and being able to choose Jesus on your own and get to know him personally. I absolutely love that, especially right now. I serve in the kids ministry at my church, and so I see that often, you know. Some kids have their parents who have a certain relationship with Jesus, some bigger than others, but these kids, it's just like God has a personal relationship with them. And so that's something like super important in my own testimony. When I was around 8 years old, I went to my first, I believe, vacation Bible school at my tia's church. And that is when I really got to know Jesus and encounter him for the first time. And it was amazing. It was a beautiful experience. And it was super emotional. I think especially for an 8-year-old to feel the Holy Spirit, absolutely insane, right? But I did a little salvation prayer that day that I'll never forget, and I let Jesus into my heart for the first time. Ever since then, my life's been drastically different, because as you get older, obviously there's trial and error, and you grow up and you do things and you don't do things, and you learn things and you see people do things, and at the end of the day, like knowing Jesus and knowing that he was in my heart regardless of whatever decisions I was gonna make, that is super impactful to me, right? So I did get baptized when I was around 14 years old, I believe, you know, declaring that I was a follower of Christ. The old life was gone, it's a new day, you know. Yeah, I did get baptized when I was 14 years old in front of my family and my friends, and then I got baptized again when in 2024 when I went to my first church camp far away from my family, actually. So it felt even more personal than the first time. It felt like a decision that I was making all by myself, like without my family's opinions, although they didn't really give opinions to the first one, and even then they're ecstatic about it. They love it, right? Obviously they want their kids to follow Jesus, to be baptized, right? But I felt like in 2024 when I got baptized, it was really my own decision, and I actually got baptized with my boyfriend, which is just like so amazing. It was one of his first times encountering Jesus that week in that camp. You know, it's a whole different story, but I think that was another beautiful thing that I was able to do, you know, get baptized at camp. ever since then, I mean, I know Jesus so personally. We have a very personal relationship, and life is just extremely different because good things, bad things, things around you, Jesus is in my heart, and that's Jesus. So now to get into what to expect from my channel. You know, this video wasn't going to be too long. It's my first video, kind of just an intro video to be able to start making more. But what to expect from my channel, you know, what do you get when you subscribe to me? So just like I said, I want it to be super real, super me. I'm not sure what schedule I'm gonna end up coming up with if I do come up with one, but I do want to make like vlogs, maybe get ready with me, is maybe like sometimes I'll share a word that God has put into my heart, but just like fun stuff. Maybe I'll do challenges, maybe I'll bring my friends on, maybe I'll bring my family on, but you know, it's just gonna be really fun, really real, kind of also a personal diary for myself, getting to know myself, getting closer to Jesus, and being able to record that and share it with all my subscribers, you know, and that's really exciting as well. So that's kind of what there is to expect when you follow JustJasmin. So I'm just really excited, you know, to have you guys grow alongside me. I hope that by watching my videos, people get to know Jesus, and that's really exciting for me as well, other than to have fun and to get to know me and to follow my journey and to just kind of watch it and be alongside it with me. I hope that people are touched by Jesus just by kind of getting to know me, right? I'm really excited to share this journey, and I'm really excited to start making videos. You know, I have family and friends who have done videos like this, or even just seeing real influencers kind of make these videos. It's just really fun. So I just hope you could like this first video. It's short and sweet, right? If you can give it a like, you know, share and subscribe so my channel can kind of grow and I can get a bigger following to share my journey with, right? Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Bye.